Golden State Warriors forward Kevin Durant between plays against the Portland Trail Blazers during the fourth quarter at Oracle Arena. Kelley L Cox, USA Today Sports. Kevin Durant's pending free agency has at least one NBA Hall of Famer scratching his head. Rick Barry, who won an NBA championship with the Warriors in 1975, is absolutely baffled by the very thought of the Golden State All-Star leaving the franchise to potentially join the Knicks. He has a chance to be part of something exceptional, something so special. Why would you want to leave that when you can have fun playing the game the right way, he told Stephen Bondy of the New York Daily News on Friday. You're not going to have to be the guy who has to do everything to be able to win. You're going to a place like that, your chances of winning are diminished greatly, so you're giving up the chance to be a champion when you were just the two-time MVP in the finals to go and be what? For what purpose? To go to New York where you're going to be under a microscope to a point that you don't even realize the microscope that you're going to be under. To leave a team where you have so many of these great players, I think it would be a silly decision and the wrong decision on his part. Durant, 30, is scheduled to become a free agent this summer, and it is all but a foregone conclusion that he will be cutting ties with the Warriors despite winning 2 NBA Finals titles and will be in contention for a third this spring. The 10-time All-Star forward received a lot of criticism for joining the star-studded Warriors 3 years ago and is believed to want to prove he can carry a team to a championship without taking the easy route. Barry, 74, does not see the purpose in doing that. Who gives a crap about Durant's legacy? He's already one of the greatest in the history of the game, he said. Nobody has ever been like him. He's an anomaly. There's never been a player who played that position like he plays. Never. So he's something special already. What does he have to prove? If that's the reason he's going to do it is to prove he can do it, he might not get it done. The Knicks have had just 2 winning seasons in the last 18 years and just traded away their biggest star in Kristaps Porzingis, yet the front office remains highly optimistic on signing Durant, and the trade has given the Knicks the infrastructure to sign him and another star player to a max contract. Selfishly, I want him to stay because I love the way he plays and I think he makes the Warriors such a great team and they have a chance to be one of the unique teams in the history of the game, Barry said. Why would you want to leave that? What reason? While the Hall of Famer has close ties to the Warriors, he also is familiar with what comes with playing in New York. Barry was born and raised just outside New York City in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and played for the New Jersey Nets in the ABA, so he also worries how Durant would handle the spotlight that comes with playing in New York. He's a guy from a little town in Maryland and stuff, Barry said. He wants to go to New York. New York compared to the Bay Area where sports are like, okay. But it's not New York. I mean, come on. Duke Blue Devils forward Zion Williamson looks on during player introductions prior to the game against the Boston College Eagles at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Rob Kinnan, USA Today Sports, February 14, 2019, Atlanta, Georgia. USA, New York Knicks forward Kevin Knox, 20, drives to the basket against Atlanta Hawks center Dwayne Dedmon, 14, during the first half at State Farm Arena. Mandatory credit, Dale Zanin, USA Today Sports, Dale Zanin. The Knicks got the taste of victory for the first time in a month and a half, defeating the Hawks on the road, 106-91, on Thursday night. Greater than box score. Things to know about Thursday's Game 1. This one felt different from the start, with the Knicks getting off to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter. They would finish with a solid 28-13 lead, which set the tone for the rest of this one. The Hawks would tie it up at 47 with 1:28 left in the second after an Omari Spellman 3. But New York went into the half with the lead, and didn't lose it the entire second half. May 15, 2018, Chicago, Illinois, USA. New York Knicks general manager Scott Perry during the 2018 NBA Draft Lottery at the Palmer House Hilton. Mandatory credit, Patrick Gorski, USA Today Sports, Patrick Gorski. The grim reality for New York Knicks fans is that their season truly continues on Tuesday, May 14th, otherwise known as the day of the NBA Draft Lottery. How the ping-pong balls fall that evening will define the course of this franchise for years to come, and these last 25 games, though sure to be a slog of losses, will play a major role in shaping the Knicks' fate that evening. Here are the varied scenarios Knicks faithful should prepare for between now and when that first envelope is opened. Currently, New York owns the worst record in the league at 10-47. The teams trailing in the tank-off but within reach are the Phoenix Suns at 11-48, Cleveland Cavaliers at 12-46, and Chicago Bulls at 14-44. The Atlanta Hawks were once a contender in Tank Bowl 2019, but rattled off 5 wins in 6 games in late 2018, and have since been regular terrible instead of Knicks terrible. November 7, 2018, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Atlanta Hawks guard Trae Young, 11, dribbles around New York Knicks guard Frank Ntilikina, 11, during the second half at State Farm Arena. Mandatory credit, Dale Zanin. USA Today Sports. Dale Zanin. Atlanta coach Lloyd Pierce wants to see his young team finish the first portion of the season strong. The New York Knicks, who visit the Hawks on Thursday in their final game before the All-Star break, simply want to win. The Knicks, 10-47, have the worst record in the NBA and have lost 18 straight, a single-season franchise record and 2 short of the 20-game streak that spanned the 1984-85 and 1985-86 seasons. January 12, 2019, Orlando, Florida, USA. Boston Celtics guard Kyrie Irving, 11, dribbles the ball during the second half at Amway Center. Mandatory credit, Kim Clement. USA Today Sports. Kim Clement. Celtics star Kyrie Irving can be a free agent after the season, and the idea that he could team up with fellow free agent Kevin Durant on the Knicks this summer has picked up steam since the Kristaps Porzingis trade cleared 2 max slots for New York. Here are the latest rumors. Feb. 12:47 p.m. The Celtics believe Clutch Sports, whose staff includes Anthony Davis's agent Rich Paul, spread rumors about Irving's potential interest in the Knicks after their blockbuster Porzingis trade cleared enough cap space for New York to land 2 max free agents, according to the New York Post's Justin Terranova. January 28, 2019, Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. Golden State Warriors forward Kevin Durant, 35, reacts by pounding on his chest after making a play against the Indiana Pacers during the first quarter at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Mandatory credit, Brian Spurlock. USA Today Sports. Brian Spurlock. Warriors star Kevin Durant can be a free agent after the season, and the idea that he could team up with fellow free agent Kyrie Irving on the Knicks this summer has picked up steam since the Kristaps Porzingis trade cleared 2 max slots for New York. Here are the latest rumors. Feb. 10:36 a.m. Ethan Strauss of The Athletic, who Durant called out by name during his recent tense presser with reporters, said during his podcast Thursday that there is infrastructure being laid down in New York for him to go to New York, if we're just completely real about it. Smith Jr. Addresses Simmons 0 hours 0 minutes and 22 seconds. Dennis Smith Jr. speaks on incident with Ben Simmons. Dennis say that Ben was doing a lot of things that weren't related to basketball. Dennis Smith Jr. exchanged words with Ben Simmons during the Knicks' loss to the Sixers on Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden. After the game, Smith weighed in. He was just, doing a lot of things that wasn't really related to basketball, Smith said. He knows me. I'm just saying, just keep it hooping. If there's anything else, just let it be known. But other than that, just play basketball. Smith and Simmons first got into it Wednesday when Kevin Knox posterized Simmons. After Knox rose over Simmons and threw down a ferocious dunk right in his face, Smith ran over and taunted him as Simmons was laying on the floor under the basket. February 8, 2019, Detroit, Michigan, USA. New York Knicks center Mitchell Robinson, 26, goes up for a shot against Detroit Pistons forward Blake Griffin, 23, and guard Ish Smith, 14, during the first quarter at Little Caesars Arena. Mandatory credit, Raj Mehta. USA Today Sports. Raj Mehta. The matchup between the 76ers and Knicks Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden went as anyone would expect, a loss for the home team. Despite the Knicks having a fourth-quarter surge, the final 126-111 score was an outcome most would have seen coming even before both teams stepped on the hardwood. However, there was one matchup that Knicks fans Had to love coming into this game. Mitchell Robinson vs Joel Embiid. Robinson, the Knicks second-rounder that has seen a surge in production lately, did more than just hold his own against the All-Star center. While scoring 14 points on a few lobs of course and collecting 13 boards, Robinson also registered a game-high 4 blocks that included a couple forceful ones on Embiid. Knicks lose 18th straight game. 0 hours 1 minute and 30 seconds. New York Knicks point guard Dennis Smith Jr. was seen arguing with Ben Simmons before halftime. Want star to keep trash talk to hooping. The Knicks made a valiant effort to make a comeback, but the 76ers pulled away to beat New York, 126-111, at Madison Square Garden on Wednesday night. Greater than box score. Things to know about Wednesday's Game 1. The Knicks had a poor effort on the defensive side of the ball in this one, as the Sixers shot 53.8% from the field. Joel Embiid and newly acquired Tobias Harris cashed in the most, finishing with 26 and 25 points respectively. Embiid also had 14 rebounds to collect another double-double on the season. February 3, 2019, New York, USA. New York Knicks forward Kevin Knox, 20, dunks over Memphis Grizzlies forward Jaren Jackson Jr. 13, and guard Shelvin Mack, 6, during the third quarter at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit. Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. It looks like Sixers PG Ben Simmons didn't get the memo. When Kevin Knox is coming down the lane, don't jump. Knox added another highlight to his rookie reel on Wednesday night, as he took a pass from DeAndre Jordan, streaked through the lane, and rose to dunk all over Simmons. Click below to see the video. Adam Hunger. After the Knicks traded Latvian forward Kristaps Porzingis 2 weeks ago, the team apparently is trying to distance itself from him so much that it doesn't feel the need to host Latvian Heritage Night. The Knicks will no longer be holding the event, according to The Athletic. The celebration was originally scheduled for February 24, when the Knicks host the Spurs. December 1, 2018, New York, USA. Milwaukee Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo, 34, reacts during first half against the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit. Noah K. Murray. USA Today Sports. Noah K. Murray. Once graphics press Jonathan Givony provided the world a glimpse at Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2013. NBA teams which previously either weren't aware of the Greek Freak, or didn't think much of him as a prospect, were suddenly descending on Greece in droves. People from all levels of nearly every NBA front office were getting an up-close look at Antetokounmpo. Only one team didn't make the trip, and it was none other than the Knicks, the revelation only making the sad sack franchise look worse. According to Giorgos Panou of Octagon Basketball Europe, the Knicks were the only club to not send anyone on a scouting trip to Greece to evaluate Antetokounmpo. Panou revealed this in a teaser clip for TNT's upcoming documentary, Finding Giannis. January 28, 2019, Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. New York Knicks head coach David Fizdale reacts during the second half against the Charlotte Hornets at the Spectrum Center. The Hornets won 101-92. Mandatory credit. Sam Sharp. USA Today Sports. Sam Sharp. On Monday night, the New York Knicks broke the franchise record for longest single-season losing streak. On Wednesday, the Knicks may move another defeat closer to their all-time record, while also getting a glimpse at an opponent that proves such struggles can lead to a positive end. The Knicks will look to snap their epic skid Wednesday when they host the Philadelphia 76ers at Madison Square Garden. New York's losing streak hit 17 games Monday night, when a late comeback bid fell short in a 107-104 defeat to the host Cleveland Cavaliers. New York Knicks center Enes Kanter reacts as fans chant "We want Kanter" during the fourth quarter against the Brooklyn Nets at Barclays Center. Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Enes Kanter has found a new home in the NBA. Kanter announced on Twitter that he has agreed to a deal with the Trailblazers for the rest of the season. Click below to see the tweet. Jamie Rhodes. Zion Williamson was added again Tuesday night. Duke men's basketball star, likely number 1 NBA draft selection and potential future Knick, let the know. Two Blue Devils to an epic comeback as they erased a 23-point second-half deficit to defeat No. 16 Louisville, 71-69. The second-half comeback was the largest of the Mike Krzyzewski era and the second largest in program history. February 11, 2019, Cleveland, Ohio, USA. Cleveland Cavaliers guard Colin Sexton, 2, drives to the basket between New York Knicks forward Kevin Knox, 20, and guard Dennis Smith Jr. 5 during the second half at Quicken Loans Arena. Mandatory credit, Ken Blaze. USA Today Sports. Ken Blaze. The Knicks set a new franchise record with their longest losing streak, 17 games, in franchise history after losing to the Cavaliers, 107-104, in Cleveland Monday night. Greater than box score. Things to know about Monday's Game 1. The Knicks came close to forcing overtime in this one, as Luke Kornet drained back-to-back threes to bring New York within one. He had a great look after a pump fake to take the lead, but was well short on another three. In the end, the Knicks had two chances to bury a three to send the game to overtime, but Dennis Smith Jr. and Kornet were off. December 12, 2018, Cleveland, Ohio, USA. New York Knicks guard Frank Ntilikina, 11, defends Cleveland Cavaliers guard Colin Sexton, 2, in the fourth quarter at Quicken Loans Arena. Mandatory credit, David Richard. USA Today Sports. David Richard. The good news is that someone will have to win Monday night, when the New York Knicks and Cleveland Cavaliers play each other. The bad news is, someone will have to win. A valuable spot in the draft lottery may be at stake when the Cavaliers host the Knicks in a battle of teams engaged in the race for the No. 1 draft pick in June. Both teams, appropriately enough, will enter Monday mired in the midst of epic skids. The Knicks tied a franchise record by suffering their 16th straight loss Saturday, when they fell 104-99 to the visiting Toronto Raptors. New York also suffered 16 straight losses during the 2014-15 season. Greater than read more. The Knicks are currently losers of 16 straight games and have the worst record in the NBA with under half a season to play. This may be reason enough for some to tune out, but the team's collection of young talent now has a touch over 2 months to develop their game over extended NBA minutes. Considering these neophytes make up the entirety of the Knicks' books beyond this summer, it's as good a time as any to get used to seeing them, especially with the team's future in their hands. Here are a few reasons to watch New York and its youngsters play out 2018-19. Dennis Smith Jr. staying solid. Golden State Warriors forward Kevin Durant drives against New York Knicks guard Damian Dotson during the first quarter at Madison Square Garden. Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. The Knicks issued a statement about potential free agent Kevin Durant appearing in a photo the team was using to promote season ticket sales for the 2019-20 season. Game action photos are used all the time for marketing purposes, but given everything going on, we took precaution of taking the photo down, the Knicks said in a statement, according to the New York Daily News' Stefan Bondy. To be clear, it was one of several rotating photos on the website. New York Knicks coach Jeff Hornacek questions a referee's call in a game against the Indiana Pacers during the fourth quarter at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Brian Spurlock. USA Today Sports. Former Knicks head coach Jeff Hornacek opened up about his 2-year stint with New York, working with former team president Phil Jackson, and how he struggled with the triangle offense for the first time. Speaking on the WOJ Pod with ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Hornacek said he thought coaching the Knicks was a great experience and embraced the Madison Square Garden atmosphere. However, Hornacek, who went 60-104 in 2 years before he was fired and replaced with David Fizdale, said his grasp of the triangle offense that Jackson won championships with the Chicago Bulls with didn't carry over. Toronto Raptors forward Kawhi Leonard, 2, controls the ball as he is watched closely by Golden State Warriors forward Kevin Durant, 35, Tom Sherabowski, along with the decisions coming from pending free agents Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, and others. The decision Kawhi Leonard makes could have huge ramifications for the Knicks. The Knicks haven't been heavily connected to Leonard, but where he winds up could potentially have the biggest impact on the man rumored to be their main target, Durant. And if you were expecting Kawhi Leonard, one of the quietest superstars ever, to give away what he's thinking about his pending free agency, you should probably adjust your expectations. March 3, 2016, Miami, Florida, USA, Phoenix Suns guard John Jenkins, 23, drives to the basket as Miami Heat guard Josh Richardson, 0, is tripped up during the first half at American Airlines Arena. Mandatory credit, Steve Mitchell. USA Today Sports. Steve Mitchell. The Knicks are expected to sign sharpshooter John Jenkins to a 10-day contract on Sunday, reports Mark Berman of the New York Post. Jenkins, who has spent most of this season with the Westchester Knicks in the G League, is finishing his 10-day contract with the Wizards on Sunday. Before his recent stint with the Wizards, the 27-year-old Jenkins last played in the NBA for the Suns during the 2016-17 season. February 9, 2019, New York, USA. New York Knicks forward Kevin Knox, 20, drives to the basket against Toronto Raptors forward Serge Ibaka, 9, during the fourth quarter at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. It was hard-fought, but the Knicks fell for the 16th straight game as the Raptors took them down, 104-99, at Madison Square Garden Saturday night. Greater than box score. Things to know about Saturday's Game 1. The Knicks got off to a hot start with a 14-3 run. However, the Raptors closed the first quarter with a 25-23 lead. New York made it close the rest of the way, regaining their lead at one point in the second. But Toronto, the second-best team in the Eastern Conference right now, would have let this one slip away. Jeff Burke. It was Saturday's best college basketball matchup when No. 2 ranked Duke visited No. 3 Virginia for a tough ACC matchup. But Duke, once again, came away with the victory, 81-71, as they continue to show their dominance this season, with LeBron James among those in attendance. Duke's Zion Williamson was doing it all on the hardwood. He drained 18 points on 6 of 8 shooting, including 5 of 7 from the free throw line. He also collected 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. The only knock on Williamson tonight was his 5 turnovers, as he was sloppy with the ball. However, he made up for it with plays like this one. Hunger. Since coming over in the blockbuster trade with the Mavericks, Dennis Smith Jr. has been the Knicks' entire offense. And that's not an exaggeration. After dropping 25 points the game before, Smith drained a career-high 31 against the Pistons on Friday night. He also had 8 assists, as the young point guard hasn't been shy with his aggressive style of play, but Smith still wasn't happy despite setting a new personal best in points. He shot 11 for 19 from the charity stripe, which included 5 misses in the fourth quarter that allowed the Pistons' lead to rack up. New York Knicks head coach David Fizdale looks to his left during the first quarter against the Detroit Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. Raj Mehta. USA Today Sports. The Toronto Raptors and New York Knicks were both busy at the NBA trade deadline, albeit with entirely different goals in mind. Both teams might move closer to their objectives Saturday night, when the free-falling Knicks host the Raptors at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks closed in on matching an ignoble record Friday night, when they absorbed their 15th consecutive defeat in falling to the host Detroit Pistons, 122-103. The Raptors earned their 3rd straight win Thursday when they beat the Hawks in Atlanta, 119-101. February 8, 2019, Detroit, Michigan, USA. New York Knicks guard Dennis Smith Jr. 5 attempts a dunk against Detroit Pistons center Andre Drummond, 0, during the first quarter at Little Caesars Arena. Mandatory credit, Raj Mehta. USA Today Sports. Raj Mehta. It was the same result between the Pistons and Knicks in this second leg of a home-and-home, as Detroit took down New York, 122-103, on Friday night. Greater than box score. Things to know about Friday's Game 1. Following up a 25-point game, Dennis Smith Jr. dropped a career-high 31 points on 9 for 15 from the field with 8 assists and 2 rebounds as well. Smith also went 11 for 19 from the charity stripe, which he didn't seem happy about, having given away 8 free points. Either way, he has solidified himself as the Knicks' main source of offense since the Kristaps-Porzingis trade. Adam Hunger, with thoughts of free agent stars potentially finding their way to the city that never sleeps, the current New York Knicks cast will attempt to wake up from a persistent nightmare on Friday when it visits the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons, 24-29, handed the NBA worst Knicks, 10-43, their 14th consecutive defeat and 22nd in 23 games on Tuesday with a 105-92 decision in the front end of the home-and-home set. Blake Griffin scored 29 points, and Andre Drummond added 17 to go, along with 16 rebounds, as Detroit defeated New York for the 5th straight time and kept its hapless foe winless since its 119-112 victory over the Los Angeles Lakers on January 4. Greater than read more. January 21, 2019, Brooklyn, NY, USA, Sacramento Kings guard Iman Shumpert, 9, reacts in the first quarter against the Brooklyn Nets at Barclays Center. Mandatory credit. Nicole Sweet, USA Today Sports. Nicole Sweet: Knicks fans should know better than to put the cart in front of the horse, but with their team's summer plans revolving around Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, it's worth looking at how they plan to surround the two with players that can aid them in a championship hunt. The two alone won't make New York a leading contender in today's arms race among the league's best. Philadelphia and Golden State are 4 All-Stars deep, while the Knicks will likely have just 5 players on their roster come July 1. Here's who they should try to retain and pursue once that time comes, given Durant and Irving decide to sign on. December 9, 2018, Detroit, Michigan, USA, New Orleans Pelicans forward Anthony Davis, 23, during the game against the Detroit Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. Mandatory credit. Tim Fuller, USA Today Sports. Tim Fuller: Pelicans star Anthony Davis has requested a trade, informing the team he has no interest in re-signing. With news of Davis wanting out came reports that the Knicks have strong interest in trading for him. Here are the latest rumors. Feb. 8:20 p.m., Davis will play the remainder of the season for the Pelicans, general manager Dell Demps said in a statement on Thursday. Demps said a number of factors contributed to the decision, and New Orleans looks forward to seeing Davis in a Pelicans uniform again soon. Ultimately, Anthony made it clear to us that he wants to play and he gives our team the best opportunity to win games, Demps said. Moreover, the Pelicans want to preserve the integrity of the game and align our organization with NBA policies. We believe Anthony playing upholds the values that are in the best interest of the NBA and its fans. Knicks react to Knox selection. 0 hours 1 minute and 18 seconds. Kevin Knox was added to play in the Rising Stars game at the NBA All-Star Weekend. Fizdale and Knox think it's a great opportunity. Kevin Knox is honored to bring his talent out of the Big Apple and showcase it on the national stage during All-Star Weekend. The 19-year-old rookie forward was added on Wednesday to play in the Rising Stars game on February 15 in Charlotte. Knox received the nod as a replacement for Lakers' Lonzo Ball on